Welcome back. We all know these days that grocery bills are getting bigger, and that's tough in these tight economic times. So it's important to save money where you can. I spoke to Tiffany Doerr Guerzon, the author of Save Money on Groceries by Going Back to Basics, to get her advice.
I think a lot of people need this advice right now. So what is the very first thing we should be doing if we're trying to save money on our grocery bill?
Well, the first thing I would suggest is going through everything you already have. Inventory, what's in your pantry, your fridge, your freezer. And once you've done all that work, write it down and put a list somewhere. And then see what you can make, what kind of meals you can make from what you've already got in the house. You'll be surprised.
Well, there's stuff in the pantry we don't remember, right? So
Correct.
inventory will help.
Definitely. And you'll be surprised at how much you have. A lot of people have told me that when they moved or something and had to clean house, they realized, wow, I have enough here for a couple of weeks.
That's good to know. Are there apps that are useful these days to help us get it together?
Absolutely. So there's a couple of great apps that you can just input ingredients of what you have on hand, and it'll bring you recipes. So one of my favorites.
Are you kidding? No way.
No, I know, it's great,
That's
isn't it?
awesome.
It really is. And sometimes it'll give you too many choices. But All Recipes Dinner Spinner is probably one of my favorites. And there's a couple of other great ones. They're all free. They're all downloadable on Apple or Droid. And Big Oven and Super Cook are two others I would recommend.
Those are great, and I haven't heard of a single one, so that's going to help me a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm going shopping. Most of the time I try to make a list these days because I don't want to have waste. I want to know what I'm going to do with the food that I buy. But what's the best way of shopping?
So what I would recommend is, first of all, making a menu, a weekly menu for the family, I think is really helpful. And make that menu based on what's on sale that week. So most major chain stores have an app or a website where you can look and see what they have on sale that week. And base your menu about what it is. If ground beef is on sale, then that's your meat for a couple of days that week. And once you've done that, you want to pair those up with any e-coupons or rebates they have. And there's actually websites that can help you with that.
You also said that we use the store brand of a lot of things. How do I know which things, I want to spend extra on and which things basically the same?
Well, if you're making something like a soup or a stew or a sauce, the can of tomatoes that's generic versus a name brand is really not going to make a lot of difference in the taste of a dish. But the only thing you can really do is try it and see what your family likes. My family, for example, there's a couple of spaghetti sauces. They absolutely don't want the off-brand, but for tomatoes and corn and beans, they're fine with that.
That maybe it doesn't make a difference. Now, you did me one better. You mentioned I'd already brought up a list, but my list of who knows, your list is based on an actual menu. So you wrote down on Monday, right? It's just that this is what you're going to do this week.
Right. I like to make it flexible. And once we're all out again, the easiest way is to plan something easy for nights you're going to be out and about. If your kids have soccer practice, that might be the best night to make a slow cooker meal.
He's got soccer practice right now, so that's not a problem.
Exactly. Right now it's not a problem, but it will be again eventually. And the other thing is, in our family, in our menu, we have a leftover night. And that is one way we try to make use of our leftovers. We call it leftover buffet.
That sounds really good. That sounds way better than we're going to have to eat leftovers. We have a leftover buffet. So reducing food waste and saving just by not buying things we're not going to use. The list helps with that. What else?
So another easy thing to do is just when you bring your groceries home from the store, put the new stuff in the back and bring the old stuff forward. And that's an easy visual reminder of what you've already got. And also having that list of that inventory will help as well. So add those things to your list. If you're throwing stuff in the freezer, add it to your list so that you know what you have on hand.
Well, since you brought up the freezer, let's talk about that. Ways we can save. I think a lot of people are cooking more at home. I mean, sometimes we get delivery, but I think we're all cooking more at home. So what can we be doing in terms of batch cooking, freezing, that kind of thing that will save us money in the long run?
Right. So one easy way to do it is you can just, if you're making, say, a casserole or lasagna or something that's easily freezable, make two. Freeze one, and then you have a meal for another day. You save automatically because you buy all your ingredients together, so you're buying in bulk, and each ingredient has its own purpose, so you're not buying a lot of extraneous stuff. Some people actually cook 30 days at a time. I've tried that. It didn't work for me, but a lot of people swear by that. If you're super busy, you take a weekend or a day on a weekend and cook 30 days worth of meals and you have them all in the freezer. And that's a real cost saver.
That's very ambitious, and congratulations to those people. If I'm freezing something and it's more than just for a few days, what do I need to know about how to store it? For example, meat, do I just put it as it came from the store into the freezer? Do I need to individually wrap? Give me some tips so I don't ruin it.
I think for meat, the best thing to do is divide it into portions. Like if you buy a large amount of meat from, say, Costco, and you generally will only use 1 pound of meat in a dinner dish, I would package that up in 1 pound packages. And the best thing is to do it in some kind of airtight package and try to get as much air out as possible to prevent freezer burn.
So that's what protects meat because that's a big expense. If you buy a big package of steak, chicken thighs or whatever, you're not going to eat all of those at once.
Right. I haven't had any problem just putting them in gallon Ziploc bags and trying to squeeze as much of the air out as possible before sealing them. But you can also purchase those products that do the vacuum seal as well. And that would be even better.
Very good. These are all great ideas. Thanks for helping us.
We'll have all the resources that Tiffany suggested on our website to help us save money.